This episode is sponsored by Lake Monster Details, producing the legacy line of Don's Light and Magic parts, offering upgrade parts and decals for accuracy, special effects, and lighting. Visit www.lakemonsterdetails.com and make it glow.
Hey guys, Will here. Welcome back to Modeling from the Ensign's Chair. This is episode 9 of my original series 1350 build. And I'm still working on these Bussard collectors. I think I'm about done with them. I've got them where I want them at. I do have a couple little things to do, which I wanted to do on camera with you and show you how I got to where I'm at. So we'll take a look at that. We'll take a look at a couple other things and see where I'm at. And we'll go from there. But before we do that, I just want to give a shout out to my good friend Cass over at Lake Monster Details for sponsoring me. I appreciate it. Make sure you check out his website. He's got a lot of good stuff coming up. He's also got those legacy DLM parts if you need them for the 1537s and for a couple other models as well. I think he's got some Nebula stuff coming out here soon. But check his website, legmonsterdetails.com, and get some updates from there. So give me a minute. I'll put you on the table. We'll get to work. Alright guys, so when I left off, I was still working on these Bussard collectors, and I had them together and lit up, but I wasn't quite happy with the way they were coming out. So I looked back at the Smithsonian's restoration, and also I think it's on Memory Alpha or one of those. There's a bit of dialogue about the different models and the different restorations that were done, and they were talking about the original. There's some notes in there when the original was built. These domes were originally painted transparent amber on the inside. And if you look at the Smithsonian's restoration, that's what they did. They restored it to that. They painted these transparent amber, which is really just what I used was X26, my Tamiya X26 clear orange is what I used. And I just put some in my airbrush and dusted the inside of these, and they turned out pretty well. I did that, and I also, not only did I frost the outside of the outer dome, but I frosted the outside of the inner dome as well, because if you look at the Smithsonian restoration, that's the way theirs is. Both of the domes are frosted. So I just took some 900 grit sandpaper and sanded it, lightly frosted it. And now one thing I did notice different is their blades, so to say, are black, and I think they're painted on, whereas these are shiny brass photo etch, which is fine with me. I'm not too worried about that. I kind of like that there's a little bit of shininess there when they turn, but a little bit different from the way the Smithsonian restored it, but that's okay. So anyway, so I did that, and after I did all that, the lights that flash on and off, and I've removed some of these and I'll tell you why here in a second, but the lights that flash on and off in here just weren't shining through the way I would have liked. They just weren't very noticeable, especially when you looked at the Bussaards from the side. The lights just weren't coming through very well. So what I did was, in this one I've already done it, and I'm going to show you what I did on here. I pulled these out. They come with these little plastic bulbs, I guess that you can call them, that insert in there, and they just don't do a very good job of carrying light. So I tried a couple different things, and see if this thing will come out. There we go. But first I thought, I'll just take one of these bulbs and attach a piece of fiber optic to it and see if that'll carry the light better. I tried that. It didn't really do anything. It didn't improve it really noticeably at all. So what I ended up doing was I took my UV resin. I don't know why I'm shaking it. You don't have to shake that stuff. But I took my UV resin, get my light ready, and my little pick here. And what I did to that one already is I got a little bit of UV resin on here, and I filled this hole in. I'll hit it real quick with the UV light. That should be good. Doesn't take a whole lot of time when you're not using much of the resin. Doesn't take that long for it to harden up. So I've got that filled in a little bit with the UV resin, and then what I do is I take some more, I dab it on there until I get what I'm trying to do is I'll put some on here till I get a raised bump, and then we'll hit it real quick with the UV. Sorry, my hand's in the way. Hello. Alright, so what we end up with is kind of a bulb, if it's showing up on camera. A little bit of a raised bulb there, and it's hard. And what I'll do is I'll go around and I'll do that to all of these, and I'll come back, and what I found out I need to do is take a little bit of sandpaper, because this gets a bit of a hot spot on the front here. If you take a little bit of sandpaper, this is just 900 grit, and I just come in here because this is plenty hard. Now that's the great thing about UV resin, is it doesn't take long for it to set up with that UV light. And what I'll do is mainly concerned about the tip, because I want that tip to dull down. I don't want a bright beam of light coming out of there and just focusing on those Bussards on the front, those domes. So what I'll do is I'll frost that. So I don't know if the camera picked that up, but it's frosted just a little bit. And I'll come back with, we'll do this one, we'll make this one the yellow one. And it really doesn't matter what color you make these. I don't think there's any documentation as to which ones are which color. But I'll just take a little bit of this, and I'll dab it on there and cover that bulb that I created with my yellow. This is transparent yellow. This is X24 clear yellow that I'm using for this one. So we've got that one done. And I'll just do one more real quick, just to show you again. So we'll let that yellow dry. I'll take a little bit of the resin, put it in the hole there, and we'll take our UV light. And we will get that set up. And then we'll take a little bit more. If you hear that, my cat wants to come in. A little bit more on there. Alright. Set that up. And it doesn't take long. You're not using a lot of UV resin here, so it doesn't take long for it to set up. Alright, so we got that. And when you use this UV resin, try not to leave the top off too long, because you do still have natural light, unless you're in your basement or something that's not getting a lot of light. You know, you do still get that UV light coming in, and over time it'll harden it. But so we got that. That's all set up. So I'll take my sandpaper again. It doesn't take a long time to do. But like I said, it is important that you sand the top of this at least. You don't have to worry too much about the sides. I actually want a little more light coming out the sides, because that way it's a little more visible when you look at the Bussards from the side, instead of having to look at the front in order to see the light. So we got that one. And we'll do this one in, I did yellow, we'll do this one in green. Actually, no, yeah, we'll do it in green. So this is the X25 clear green. And just so you know, the other colors are the X27 clear red. I think that showed up. There we go. And the X23 clear blue. So those are the colors I'm using. And I'll wipe this off real good. It won't carry over any of that yellow. Now what you can do is just resin all these and then come back and do your colors. You don't have to, but I'm trying to do this just to show you what I'm doing here. Alright, so we got that on. Alright, so that's what I'm doing. That's how I'm getting to where I'm at as far as redoing those colors on those bulbs. I got a little bit of it, but you're not going to see that. You're not going to see that anyway. But so that's what I'm doing with it, and like I said, I've already done this other one, so let's take a look at that a second. I'll put this up out the way. Now the other thing I did here was, and thank you to Boyd over at Truckworks for recommending this. I'd already gone over, I'd replaced these motors with aftermarket motors, and they're metal gears. So what I did was I went out and I got I don't know where to put the tube at, but I got a tube of, hang on one second, let me grab it because I want you to see what I'm using here. Just went down to the auto parts store and got a tube of white lithium grease. And I put it in the gears on the front of this, and that helped quiet it down tremendously. And the white lithium grease won't hurt the insides, it won't hurt the gears. And it helps quiet it down quite a bit. So the other thing I did to help quiet it down was I was mentioning Boyd over Truckworks recommended using a voltage regulator. So I ordered this pack of voltage regulators. I got these off Amazon. I'll put a link for this, but these are L7805CV is the voltage regulator, and what it does is it drops your voltage down to 5 volts. So it helps slow these motors down, and that in itself helps quiet these motors down quite a bit. So let me plug it in for you. Grab the cord here, plug it in, and take a look at it. So if you listen to the previous video, this is a lot quieter than it was in the previous video. And hopefully those lights inside are coming through, you can see them. But it slows these motors down, and I think this speed is perfect to my expectations. Now again, it's all about what your expectation of what something's going to be or appear or look like. And this is perfect in my opinion. So again, thank you Boyd for recommending these. All you do with these, to use these voltage regulators, because I had to do a little research to figure out how to use them. Because I don't know, Boyd may have went over these in one of his videos, but I didn't see it right off the bat. So what you've got here is, let me unplug this so I don't accidentally short anything out of that. So this is the voltage regulator, and what you've got is the pin, which would be, if you're looking at this from the top side, the pin on the right, or on your left, I'm sorry, is the positive in. The pin on the far right is the positive out, and the middle one is a shared ground. So you'll see I've got the power coming in connected to this lead, and then both your ground wires, what I did was I clipped them and connected both the ground wires to that middle lead, if you can see. And then I connected the power wire going out to the motor to the one here, which is now on your left, but typically when you talk about these, you're looking at it like that. So basically, clip the power wire, strip your ends, take your ground, connect and just twist both your ground wires together, connect them to that middle ground lead, and then take your power coming in, strip that wire, connect it to, when you're looking at it this way, connected to your lead on the left there, and your power going out is connected to the lead on the right. So I hope I'm not confusing anybody. If you got any questions, please hit me up, shoot me a message or an email, and I'll try to go over this more in detail. But that's basically how you use the voltage regulator with these. And they don't get hot at all, like Boyd told me. You know, they do transmit some heat, but not enough to even worry about. It's hardly detectable. So, you know, once again, I'll show you. Oh my God, that is so much quieter. And like I said, I think that fan blade speed is just perfect. So what I'm going to do real quick is I'm going to, I'll finish this up, putting in the colors and redoing it, and I'll put this back together and we'll come back and take a look at it. So give me a minute. Alright guys, so we've got this all back together now. Plug it in, we'll do another check here. But there we go. That is, I'm calling those good. I like those. So we'll get those in place as soon as I get my nacelles on and everything else wired up. But speaking of the nacelles, so I've got them together, and this one actually has its first coat of my paint mixture here. And so I put on that first coat. I came back with some 900 grit, gave it one more sanding. And one thing I want to say about these is they've got these bumps that they put right on the seam. And what I ended up doing was I just, instead of trying to sand around them, I just sanded them off. And I came back with my UV resin and put just one drop and hit it with the UV light, and made the bumps back on there. It was just easier just to sand off the ones, come back, take a little drop of UV resin, put it on there, hit it with the UV light, and it looks good to me. So but just one thing I want to note about that: when you put these together, you're going to have those bumps that are going to be right on that seam on the underside of the nacelle here, and it's a pain in the butt. So if you've got if you go the UV resin route, you know, just sand them off, put some UV resin on there. There's some other ways you can do it too, but that was the easiest thing that I saw to do, was just put a little dollop of UV resin on there, hit it with the UV light, and be done with it. So this one's got its first coat. It's sanded with 900 grit lightly, just because there was a couple spots where I could still see a little bit of the seam. And it's ready for its second and hopefully final coat. We'll take a look at that. But and then the other one is puttied up, just waiting for it to dry so I can sand it. It's probably dry now, so I'll get that sanded, and then once I got those done, we'll be one step closer to the finish line. The only thing holding me up, I did get I did attach the neck to the 1/2 of the secondary hull, so that's on there. The only thing keeping me from sealing this up is finalizing my shuttle bay, which I had given up on it at one point, and I decided I'd give it another shot. And thank you, and again, sorry I don't have the name right in front of me, but thank you to the person that convinced me to carry on with this. So I kind of broke it back down, I stripped the floor, and I'll take another shot at it. And also my shuttles from Shapeways came in. The only thing I need to work out, and please somebody post a link down the bottom if you know, I need replacement decals for these, because I don't have any decals for these. I don't think, I'll look again at the HDA model worksheet. I don't recall if they had any shuttle decals with that or not, but otherwise, you know, if somebody knows of somebody that's producing these 1350 decals for these 1350 shuttles from Shapeways, let me know. And if they're not on this HDA model worksheet, matter of fact, let me take a look real quick and we'll just see, because I know it had replacement decals for the shuttle bay itself. I didn't really take notice if it had shuttle decals. And it does not. So yeah, if anybody has has any sources for those decals for these shuttlecraft and shapeways, let me know, because I'm gonna need them. Because the ones, I just don't want to even try using the ones that came with the kit. I've just had so many issues with them. So, but I got those. They look great. They've got great detail to them. There's already a hole in the bottom of the shuttle so that you can put your LED or SMD, which is what I'll probably use in there. And the back is open, so you can light up, do the lights on the back too if you want. So, really great looking, great detailed piece here. So looking forward to putting that in the shuttle bay once I get that worked out. But so that's where I'm at on everything. Hopefully now that I've got these done where I want them at, and they look good to me, I can start focusing more on getting this shuttle bay done, get my secondary holes sealed up, and I should have these pylons ready to go next episode as well. Or not the pylons, but the nacelles ready to go next episode as well. So looking good, getting there. But I appreciate everybody's feedback and support. Thank you to my subscribers. I appreciate everybody subscribed. But as I always say, you don't have to subscribe, but if you find anything useful in this video, please hit that like button down below to let me know. But again, thank everybody for watching. Until next time, keep modeling.